Hey guys, how are you all? Thank you for being patient, guys. It's been a very busy year. We are now halfway into the year, guys. I'm looking forward to Christmas. Not long to go. So, guys, welcome to another video by me, Beyond Astro K. And I'm going to be doing a video on not only the Saturn going into Pisces, but the lunar eclipse, guys, going into Pisces for all of the signs. So just a little one, just a little, Saturn went into Pisces on the 7th of March 2023, and before that it was 30 years ago. Yeah, 1993 to 1996. So Saturn re-entering Pisces on the 1st of September, which is today. Yeah, it had to be done, this video, because the first in tarot is I keep thinking the Mercury card is a magician card. So it's very much about, what you're putting out there, what you believe, what you can conceive, even though it's a very trickster card. But still, it just makes sense that, the highly manifestating time, whatever you're going to be saying and doing and thinking, it can be done. And that's what the energy is for, that is saying for me. Saturn going at 29 degrees Pisces is very intense, because it's at and they call it Antarctic degree, but it's a degree that is Antarctic degree. I can't even pronounce it properly, but they say it's very challenging of fate, and it does signify the combination and completion of intense transformation of the sign of Pisces, and it does represent emotional and spiritual time. It's very much a karmatic close, but it's also before it goes into Aries, because it's 29 degrees and it's 0 degrees going into Aries. So if you've got like planets in 29 degrees of any musical sign, this will impact you, especially Pisces. So if you're like the 18th to the 20th of March, big time. This is not going to go anywhere. This is only going to change next year when Saturn goes back into Aries. So a lot of us are going to be wrapping a lot of things up. Yeah, a lot of things we're going to be wrapping up. And I think for me also, it's saying that whatever you didn't do when Saturn was in Pisces, whether it's 30 years ago or whether it's 3 years ago, if you didn't make it work, you're getting that last chance Harvey time. That's my favorite word. Obviously I'll be telling more when I talk about Pisces. I'll probably be saying the same thing anyway, guys. But for all the signs, it's like, what have you learnt, whether it's 30 years ago and 3 years ago, and what can you implement now? If you didn't do it then, you can start doing it now. It's your last chance, because it's a Pluto as well. It's giving you that sort of like extra push. It's also giving you that sense of like extra intenseness, but you're also going to be transformed. This has also shown me that now's not the time to be lazy. Now's not the time to be what's the word? Now's not that time to be, daydreaming about it. It's about doing it. And it could be anything in your life, guys. It could be either you want to transform your body, transform your mind, transform your hair, transform anything about yourself. It's the time to be doing it. And I'm also picking up that it can be done now. The last time when Saturn was in Pisces, when it was 7th of March 2023, we had Pluto, which was in Capricorn. So the energies, for me personally, it felt stagnated. But now that it's in Aquarius, the energies are very different. It showed me that there's more movement. It's like showed me that, your mind is more higher. Like, I want to do this. I feel this. So let me just take a little bit more steps last time. But now it's like, just go for it. Just do it. The Jupiter was also in Aries when Saturn was in Pisces 3 years ago. Now it's in Cancer. So it's giving us that more emotional feel, more emotional time, more like feeling from home. Like we're going to be pouring our emotion into it. We're not just going to be, just doing it because we just feel we have to. It's like, no, no, no. I feel this. I feel that. I feel that if I do this, this can happen. It's very much more of a psychic time. We've also got the lunar eclipse that's in Pisces as well, which is at 15 degrees. And a lot of the energies in the first house. Yes, we got the moon there, we have Saturn there, we also got Neptune there. So everything it showed me is that things are going to be out into the open. Okay. Other aspects to the moon is a big one. We have it's opposed Mercury. It trines Jupiter, like I said before. It also conjuncts the North Node. Pivotal time, guys, for us to not only are we going to be working consistently on releasing, we're going to be doing our spiritual practice, we're going to do our creative practice, we're going to be healing ourselves, healing our body. We are going to also see that things are going to stay in our life, they're also going to leave our lives, whether we want it to or not. And depending on where it sits in your chart, that's going to be affected. Yeah, if you've got like Mercury in Pisces, you've got the MC in Pisces, anything like that, these are going to be transformed. And remember, because it's Neptune we're dealing with, we don't know when it's going to happen. It can happen on the day, it can happen afterwards. This energy is going to be for the next 6 months. Okay, so it's a very, like I said, this week is a very pivotal week, because we've got the North Node in Pisces. We've also got the we got the Saturn, and we also got the lunar eclipse all in the same week. So it feels this week's very fated. I feel that, I do believe that whatever we're thinking and feeling, I feel that you do have to be very mindful of what you're thinking and feeling, because it sort of can manifest. I'm also picking up that people from the past can re-emerge. I'm also picking up that past projects or things that were once hard to gain or get, it can resurf now. And it could be across the board. I couldn't tell you what it was. I just feel that it's definitely across the board. But I personally don't manifest anything during like a lunar eclipse. But because Saturn is involved, it is great to be writing down what your goals and dreams are and your aims are, what you want to really take seriously now, because it puts that sort of like an oomph to it. Like if you want to, I don't know, quit your job to be an artist, I believe that it can happen. It's just that you just got to put a lot of hard work in, for instance. So yeah, that's like my 2 cents worth on Saturn and Jupiter going to Pisces. Again, like I said, it's a very fated karmatic week. Just like I said, I personally will just sort of like write about what I would like to complete between now and next year, until Saturn leaves Pisces. And but essentially I'll just see what happens, because we're dealing with mutable here, and we're dealing with Neptune as well, and we've got the North nodes that are involved too. So yes, that's my 2 cents worth. And let's get to the signs. So Aries, obviously we're starting with you, because even though Saturn and the lunar eclipse, especially Saturn, is entering your 12th house, it was in your first house, so there was like a massive change that's happened for you. But with Saturn going back into Pisces in your 12th, and with the lunar eclipse also in your 12th, there's going to be a time where I think a lot of you are going to be looking back on when Saturn was in your house, what you achieved, what you believed, what you went through, what changed in your life. And with these both being together, because obviously it's like different days, but still, with them both being together, this is going to be a time of course, like releasing, healing, sleeping, relaxing, but of most important, letting go on a spiritual level. I feel a lot of you are going to be, you know, tending to like wind down a lot more. This is a time, Aries, also for you to just, you know, kick back a bit, because when next year is going to be very busy for you, especially for the next 36 years, the Saturn Neptune conjunction that's going into your sign. The messages I'm getting for you, Aries, is, you know, you've done a lot. Now it's time to sort of like celebrate your achievements, because you have got more to celebrate. But also just remember to relax, remember to try and be calm and trying to heal. The lunar eclipse is going to be very potent in a way for everyone, but it is, Aries, it is a time that, you know, you can't be, try not to do too much. Try to do the bare minimum if you can, and don't like get yourself all up in a tangle if you can't do it all, because that's showing like your physical body is saying just relax, kick back. The card that you have, Aries, is the first house. You now got like different tarot cards. You got the first house, which you're actually ruled by. It's about yourself and personality. It is about the physical body. So a lot of you may, you know, during this time be trying to like revving to go, like, yeah, I can do this, I can do this. But there may be like a lot of setbacks that goes on. The setbacks could also be with your career. It could be with like relationships. It could be on a general basis. But this first house card for the transits that is happening is still showing that, you know, really take care of yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. If there's things that you want to do or things that you have to do, you know, really work with your energy and pace yourself. It's not saying that you shouldn't do anything. It's just saying also that, you know, keep doing what you want, keep doing what you're doing, whether it's creating or pioneering any new projects, or even like, you know, healing your body, because next year it will really be beneficial for you. Okay. Hey Taurus, how are you? So Taurus, the Saturn in Pisces, going back into Pisces with the lunar eclipse in Pisces, all in your 11th house, is very beneficial for you. Taurus, you know, I would say to a lot of you, I forgot to say to Aries, but, you know, look back what happened in 2023, but also look what happened 30 years ago when it came to like your friendships, when it came to like groups and associations that you were associated with. You will now see that there's a combination of endings with a group or association. Even like your goals, Taurus, I feel that a lot of you, and it could be because Jupiter is in your 12th house, but I do feel for a lot of Tauruses, a lot of you are maybe starting to really come out of your shell now. I feel a lot of you are feeling a bit more, these two transits with Saturn and the lunar eclipse is showing that some Tauruses are willing to go out and like make new friends, make new contacts, joining like groups. It could be a theatre group, it could be a meditation group. If you're like a parent as well, I can see a lot of Tauruses like going out of their way to like be friends with like mums or even dads. You know, just about making new connections. Even though it's a release in time, it's still a time that you can start doing it. I feel it would be a very positive time for a lot of you Tauruses, because, you know, some of you may like to be by yourself, don't want to be around too much people. But this time is telling you, you know what, it may not have worked last time, but now you can try again. This is also a very beneficial time for you Tauruses to, you know, do like that passion project that you've been always willing to do. So really get yourself out there, Taurus. It's a very, yes, it's a positive time, but it's also a time that a lot of you are actually feeling like, you know, I can do this. The card that you have is the 12th house, and the 12th house is very much a Piscean house. It's about the subconscious. It's about your dreams, emotions. So I feel that deep down, a lot of you may feel a bit insecure, like, oh, it might not work out. They might not want to be my friend, or, you know, this associational group, it might not, you know, be for me. Listen, the 12th house is about intuition as well. So really listen to your intuition. It could be guiding you in a great way. Yes, it could also be making you feel a little bit not really sure. But really listen to your intuition, because the side of it might say, you know what, what's the worst that can happen? They could reject you, or it may not be for you, but you just have to try and go there. Also know, Taurus, is that there might be some older friendships that might be phasing out as well, which is to do with the 12th house, but it's only opening doors for new beginnings to come. Okay. Hey Gemini, how are you? So Gemini, this is going to definitely impact you, like Saggies and Virgos and Pisces. So this is in your 10th house. Again, what happened 2023, 1990, in the 90s when Saturn was in Pisces. 10th house is about your status. It could be marriages, births, bosses, definitely your career. So I think a lot of you during this lunar eclipse and the Saturn re-entering Pisces, I think a lot of you are just willing to just go again. Have that one last time, because you got Uranus, which is in your sign as well. So I feel that there's no bounds. You guys have got no bounds anyway. I feel that if there was a career or like a job or something that you've always wanted to do didn't really work out, it may definitely work out now. Like if you've been applying for jobs, or it's going to be changing now. The status is also about family and your relationships, so that could also be a thing. Like you may not want to have kids, and if you now decide you want to have kids, you may want to get married as well. Even like things to do with like bosses, there could be definitely changes there. There could be bosses, CEOs leaving. You could be promoted. Yes, definitely there could be a demotion as well. But Saturn and lunar eclipse in Pisces it's very fluid. So you never know what's going to be happening. This is like Jupiter and Neptune. So things are very positive, but also things that you're not really sure what's actually going on. But all in all, even though this does square you, Gemini, it is also showing that things are going to be, it's not saying it's going to be better or worse, it's just that things are changing. So if you have been in like a career for too long, you could leave, or you could be fired. These things could happen, or there could be lots of layoffs, which is inevitable because of the nodes that's in Virgo. Virgos does rule employment, so a lot of you could be seeking a new employment, or you have no choice. I feel a lot of you Geminis could basically definitely start working for yourself, or deciding to, with Uranus being in your sign. This is like, yeah, let's do it. I will say definitely really try and take care of yourself, like your physical, mental and health as well. But yes, there's going to be different things going on within your career, and I feel that some of you are very open to it. Like, yeah. Some of you may be a bit scared, but it's going to be very like life-changing for you regardless. The card you got is the 11th house, and it's funny because you had Saturn in Aries in your 11th house. 11th house is about friendship and community, and it's about dreams as well. So I feel that whatever you're dreaming for, whether it's like a new job, or like a new terms of relationship, or something physically for yourself, it can happen. You just have to try and be as clear as you can, because all is not what it seems under this. I'm also seeing with this 11th house card is saying that a bit like the 10th, whatever you're going to be doing, you're going to be on the world stage. So you have to try and be as honest as you can. Try not to tell any lies or be deceitful in any way, because the 10th house is about the stage. But still, dream big. There are many opportunities out there for you. I am strongly picking up a lot of you Sagittariuses, like going that self-employment route. Whether you are a creative person, or a person that is in corporate world, go for it. But I am picking up very much like creativity. If you've got any books, if you want to write a book, if you want to like do acting, anything like that, this is a perfect time to be doing it. But you still have to be honest as you can. Hello, my Cancer. How are you? So, Cancer, this is going to benefit you because this is in your 9th house with Saturn and the lunar eclipse in your ninth house. Great time, great. Of course, you're a sign that always looks back. You know, you can't help it. So, of course, look back what happened in 2023 and 93 to 1996. Some of you may have studied, took up a long course, whatever that is what you was gonna thinking of doing. Could be want to travel overseas, or it could be voyages, anything like that. Cancers, a great time for you to with Saturn being here, Cancer, and with the lunar eclipse, it's like showing me that there's something you studied and now it's coming to a close, or there's something that your whole belief system has now definitely changed. If you've tried to stay with the old school way, should I say, it's now going to be turned over, and some of it may shock you. Your beliefs may not be radical, but it may be more like outside the box. So if people are talking about the same thing, liking the same thing, you may be thinking, well, that's all fake, and that could shock a lot of people. We're talking about Neptune here, so things are really not what they seem. I think that when Neptune went into Pisces, everyone started to just like believe the hype about things, and I think some of you Cancers are seeing like what we're actually believing is not real. It's just a distraction. So, you know, I feel some of you Cancers may feel that, you know, there's certain people in your life that are just not aligning with what you're saying, or they don't really understand. So if you're a very creative person, why don't you publish it? Why don't you publish your findings and sayings? And, you know, if you're a Cancer that loves to write like love stories, or, you know, I feel a lot of you, especially because Jupiter's in your sign, and this is also Jupiter placements that's happening too. Jupiter's about publishing. It's also about, you know, writing and getting things out into the world for different creeds and cultures. I also feel with a lot of you Cancers that, you know, your life is definitely changing now, like your physical body, mental body. I feel some of you may be, some of you could be, I know I might be going off track because, you know, but some of you may be like emotionally changing, whether it's like the perimenopause or the menopause, or, you know, just if you're a man, it could be, you know, your body's changing, like something to do with like you're hearing that, and you may want to be healing it in a very holistic way. Or some of you Cancers may decide that you want to like teach, you want to heal people. So that's why I said this is a great time to write. Like you could be writing a book about, you know, how you can like heal yourself, or, you know, better yourself, and there's nothing wrong with thinking of the past. Something, I'm just going off on, but something like that, Cancers. But yes, this is a very perfect time to be, you know, writing, reading, healing. The card you got is the 10th house. Again, Saturn was in your 10th house, Cancer. 10th house, it represents like your public image, you know, your career, bosses, about achievements. So it's showing me that this card is showing me, Cancers, even though it's in your 9th house, 10th house is like how you're going to be seen. So it's showing me during the Saturn and Jupiter being in your in Pisces that whatever you're going to be doing, you're going to be seen. Okay. I think you're all about healing at this point. So whatever you're going to be healing, you could be healing others. Again, 10th house is about just being honest. So just try and be as honest as you can. No emotional manipulation going on. But yes, Cancer, I feel that whatever you're going to be doing, it can really benefit mankind. So get your writing pad out, keep dreaming, keep reading. You're going to be healing people. Hey Leo, how are you? So Leo, you got Saturn and lunar eclipse in Pisces all in your 8th house. And, you know, a lot of you Leos definitely going through it when it comes to like your joint finances, money, debts, you know, inheritances. Look back what happened 2023 and the 90s, what happened then, because it definitely become full circle now. I feel a lot of you Leos, if you've got any like debts you need to pay off, it's going to be paid off now. There could be money coming to you. There could be some legalities that goes with it as well. But just look at the chart. Anything Leo happening? Yeah, we have like Venus in your sign, and you got Mercury there. So this is going to be really helping you to be going gung-ho. I feel that you, whatever you're going to be doing, anything paying off, or that anything that's owed to you, or you know, if you're going to be trying to heal yourself, you're going to go full throttle. You're not going to be afraid. You're going to be this is telling me you're going to be a bit more brave, and so you should. Things are going to be happening quick and fast, Leo. Okay, and the eighth house is about, you know, fears and nerves, and it's about, you know, psychotherapy as well. So if you've been resisting that, because you got like Venus and Mercury there, it's just saying like just be brave and just go for it. If you need to talk to someone, if you need to, like, you know, do things for yourself on a deeper level, you're going to be brave to do it. Okay, the card you got is the ninth house, and the ninth house is about like the higher mind. It's about adventures. It's to do with like higher learning. It's about your beliefs as well. So this is showing me that everything's changing. Your beliefs are changing. You know, your way you're seeing the world is changing. Some of you may be feeling a little bit like, you know, because you're very fixed in your what you're thinking and saying. Especially if you got like Venus and Mercury there. But it's making you more bold. It's making you tackle things head on, not leaving it, you know, leaving it to your partner to sort the finances, leaving it like, I pay the debt off whenever, or, you know, if you got a lawyer saying, you know, we need to like sort this inheritance out. It's just like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. Your energy is very different from 3 years ago and even 30 years ago till now. So I would say to you, Leos, that, you know, if you've got that fire in your belly to sort stuff out, just do it. Listen to your heart. You know, the ninth house is definitely about like the higher mind. You're going to be getting lots of downloads, Leo. Try not to shy away from it, because they will really help you and it will really serve you. But there are things that are packing up fast now. Hey, my Virgos, how are you? So, Virgos, this is going to definitely, again, impact you. This is the Saturn and Lunar Eclipse is in your 7th house, about your relationships, business and personal. Okay, contracts as well. One-to-one relationships. So what are you going to do now, Virgos? Big time for you, because you got the nodes. South and North node in your sign, yeah? We just had the new moon in your sign as well. We've also got an eclipse coming up in your sign. So this is going to be greatly impacting you. You're going to be very, I won't be surprised if some of you are feeling it, feeling quite anxious, feeling like, you know, go, go, go. Some of you may be working hard on your physical self, your body, you know, really take care of your mental state, because that is the most important as well. So, you know, yes, relationships are going to be changing. There could be marriages, there could be separations. I feel some of you Virgos just feel like, you know, you're over this. You want a fresh start. Some of you may decide that you want to commit. There could be marriages as well. There could be children that could be coming up with this. You could be having a bit of like a new lease of life. There could be job changes. Definitely job changes. Something physically and emotionally happening to you. It could feel like a thunderbolt, lightning, Virgos. But I will say, again, like I said to Leos, that whatever's going to be happening, you have to try and just go with it. There's no point in trying to control what's going on, because what's happening now is very fated. Yeah, you got a fated energy that's happening, especially with the eclipse that's coming up in your sign. So if there's anything you need to do and say, it's not about planning or thinking about it. It just will happen. Okay, and I'm picking up some of you are going to be moving home. It could be with your partner, or you could be moving out, but there's a movement that's happening with a lot of you. And obviously the 7th house is about like your relationships. It could also be your relationships with people that you're working with. as well. Lunar eclipse is about releasing, things are going. So like I said before, there's going to be a different change and an aspect that's going to be happening. The card you got is the 8th house, and the 8th house is about, you know, death, transformation, shared resources, also fears, things on a deeper level. So that's one of the reasons why I thought a lot of Virgos are going through it on a deeper level. Another thing I would say, Virgos, is that if you got something to say, I think now's the time to be doing it and saying it and just being truthful. If you are happy about something, say it. If you are not happy, now is the time to say it. You don't want to be going through like life just coasting, okay? The nodes in your sign and Pisces sign is transforming you guys. And good or bad, it's going to be, you know, for the better good in the end. And that's what this card is saying to me. When it says death, sex, transformation, you are transforming yourself. And you're always going to be forever servicing people because that's what you're here to do. But you also have to really try and service yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. So Virgos, lots of transformation is happening now. Hello, my Libra. How are you? So Libra, this is the Saturn and Lunar Eclipse in Pisces is in your 6th house. Again, look back what happened 3 years to 30 years ago. What happened then? There was a big time of transformation when it came to your physical, mental, emotional self. Because it's coming back into your 6th house, Libra. Did you like try and take care of yourself? You know, did you start doing like the holistic route, or did you just carry on? Because you know, Librans, you guys are very, very, you know, laid back when it comes to like your health. But when it's coming back now, it's showing you like what needs to be healed, what needs to be let go of, any like bad habits, cutting down on like things that are not helping you physically. And I think if you didn't do it then, this is like the last time to be doing it, because it's going to be for the next 30 odd years. Another thing that is happening with in terms of like your employment and your employment is going to be changing. So some of you Librans, I know a lot of Librans, a lot of you are like kind of sick of your job. So the lunar eclipse being there is like saying that, you know, you might just leave, or there could be, again, a lot of dissolvements of careers. And some of you may just feel like very relieved that it's actually happening. Another theme that is showing me that some of you Librans, if you like were quite resistant to like doing a type of workout with swimming or, you know, yoga or Pilates, you may start doing it now. You know, if you were, it could be like some of you were smokers or you eating junk food, you may just, something may come up and you may have to just cut that out. I'm just saying, the lunar eclipse is here as well, and it's very potent, okay? In fact, the lunar eclipse, a lot of the energy is on the 1st house as well. So things are going to be coming to the fore. And a lot of you might just feel a bit annoyed about it, but it's essential, you know? Again, look back what happened 30 years ago. Some of you may be too young to remember, but the 6th house is also about the mental health as well. So mentally, you guys may be going through it. The card that you got is Aries card, which is actually to your 7th house, about relationship. This is showing me that some of you may be going gung-ho with this. Like, you know what? Now's the time for me to do it. Now's the time for me to like get energy, get fit. Aries is about the physical body. I'm picking up also, if you need help with anything, contacting Aries, your opposite. But also you might embody that whole Aries, like, I want to get fit, I want to get healthy, I want to start a new job, I'm going to work for myself. You might be pioneering something in you. You might be feeling fired up, you know. So don't be surprised, Libras, if a lot of you are just changing, like, okay, you're going to be doing it, because anything that happens during this now, you'll be doing it fast, okay? Hello, Scorpio. So, Scorpio, again, look back what happened 30 years ago, 3 years ago. Saturn is back in your 5th house. It was in your 6th. Now it's in your 5th again. And it's gonna obviously impact you because be 29 degrees. I also feel that because I do know some, because in the night, one thing about the 30 years ago, that I was a teenager in the 90s, and I knew a lot of Scorpions in the 90s who were, you know, when Saturn impacted them, and they really went through it. It just came into my mind. But yes, so love life, career to a point, but it's about your physical self, your love life, fun, creativity. Saturn may have put like a bit of a block on this because this is at 29 degrees, but Saturn put a block on your creativity. Even though a lot of you are working really hard, you may feel blocked. And of course, Saturn's there, so that blockage will still be there, but it's going to be showing me for you, Scorpios, that carry on. You know, because when it goes back into your 6, you're going to be more diligent, you're going to be refining it. And the fact that you started being creative is better than not starting. Do you understand, Scorpio? So, yeah, carry on doing what you're doing. And even in terms of like your love life, you may have felt blocked in that. Scorpio, go for it. You know, dare yourself to ask that person out. Dare yourself to do something quite daring and creative. Dare yourself to like get your like do like some type of sports. Obviously, with Saturn being in your 6, you may have felt like, you know, your body felt quite like you running, and you felt like a little niggle, and you had to start from the drawing. You had to go back to the drawing board. Saturn being in your 5th is like showing you, you know, continue to go back to the drawing board. Don't push too fast. Especially the lunar eclipse there, you're going to be bringing something out. Whatever you've been working on for the past 3 years, you may be bringing it out now. And it's going to be it can be futuristic, but it's also going to be very fantastic. Again, there's a lot of excitement that's going on here. It's a bit restricting, but still, Scorpios, go for it. It's an exciting time. The lunar eclipse is also showing that, you know, you're going to be feeling a little bit more, not as tight, like physically tight, mentally tight. I feel a lot of you are going to be a bit more relaxed. The card you have is Pluto, and you're ruled by Pluto. And this card is about showing areas in your life where you're faced intense powers of creation and destruction. So this card is showing me, again, for you Scorpios, that, you know, you're going to be going through it, but intensely. So, you know, you could fall in love with someone on an intense level. You could be doing a creative project on an intense level. You could be like working out on an intense level. Pace yourself as well. You don't want to go too hard. You don't want to injure yourself. You don't want to be making mistakes. Anything you're putting out there, try and refine it. But yes, it's a different time now, Scorpio. Let's do it. Hey Saggies, how are you? So Saggies, this is going to greatly impact you. We have the Saturn and lunar eclipse in Pisces. If you're Sagittarius, like all the mutable signs, 29 degrees Saturn in Pisces, or 15 degrees in Pisces, or, you know, your sign, this is going to greatly impact you. But regardless of what degree it is, it will impact you, but still. So Saggies, this is in your 4th house. Again, I say to all the signs, look back what happened 30 years ago to 3 years ago, because some of these themes could be similar or they could be playing up again. So your 4th house is about home, roots. It's about self-care. It's very much an emotional house. This is a time where things are laid to rest, should we say. But this is about your home, essentially. You know, your emotional home. Could be your physical home, but definitely your emotional home. So, you know, again, like I said, look back what happened then. I feel a lot of you Saggies may have had, you know, like a new addition to the family. You could have moved home. You could have like redecorated your home. I actually know, I mean, my partner, he's Saggy Moon. And when Saturn went into Pisces, I think, yes, when Saturn was in Pisces, he started redecorating the flat. So I was thinking, why is he just decorating floor? But now I know why. But still, like I said, other themes could be coming up. There's, of course, there's like new additions to the family, but there's also, it could have come about its struggles too. And with the lunar eclipse there, it's showing the same thing, but it could be different now. I think if some of you Saggies want to move, you could move. I'm picking up some of you may want to move somewhere quiet. You don't want to move like into somewhere like loud and crazy, especially if you like you're of an older Sagittarius. You may obviously still want to travel, but it's like, you know, I need to find out where my home base is. This is an emotional time. A lot of you Sagittarians, themes and thoughts from the past could be coming up, but it's instead of like, you know, removing it away, it's time to deal with it, because you don't want it, you know, when it goes back into your fifth, you don't want to be carrying that heavy load and baggage. Like, you know, how come I'm not having fun? Oh, it's because I didn't deal with what happened in the fourth, type of thing. It's the fourth and 10th house that is happening. Obviously, Geminis are having the 10th, but you're having the fourth, but still, that's still going to be playing. I feel a lot of you Sagittarius may even decide that, you know, you no longer want to do that whole corporate thing. You may want to just work from home, or some of you may decide you want to be at home a lot more, or you may retire early too. Fourth house again is about how you take care of yourself. So this is a time to really look at how you're taking care of yourself, and because the nodes are there, but also because the lunar eclipse is there. It's showing you that, you know, it's going to be that time that's going to be happening. If you felt like to do it and you're not doing it, it will happen. The card that you have is a Neptune card, which is really scary because, you know, Saturn and the lunar eclipse are in Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune. But this card is showing me for you Saggies is that it's saying about the parts of your lives where we refuse to be limited by beliefs or bound by tradition. And the fourth house is about the 10th house of tradition. So I feel that some of you also, again, this card is also showing me that some of you may be bound by past thoughts and actions. It could be to do with your family, or it could be to do with you, how you were when you were younger. And even though you're a sign that likes to keep it moving, there's still something that could be holding you back, and it could be to do with like your feelings and thoughts. It could be resurfacing, and some of you may be trapped by it. That's why some of you may feel quite depressed or a bit down at the moment since 2023. But it's for you to work with it. Don't be bound by it. Don't think it's always gonna be like this. It's gonna be the be all and end all, because it's not. Again, like I said, your physical health may have been impacted by this. I feel that if you do have any like ailments, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I do know about the spiritual and the physical. But I feel that if any of you do have these consistent ailments that are coming up, that's for you to work with something that you're holding on to emotionally. So it's a very transformation time, but it's on an emotional sense. Hey Capricorn, how are you? So Capricorn, Saturn, and it's going to impact you if you're like 29 degrees Capricorn. And also if you're 15 degrees Capricorn, it'll definitely sextile you. The lunar eclipse and Saturn is back in your third house. And yeah, it's I think for a lot of you Capricorns, I wouldn't say it's not been easy. I think it's easy, but it's not been as easy for a lot of you, because the third Saturn being in your third, it could have, and because you're ruled by Saturn, wherever it goes, it impacts you. So when Saturn from your third, from 30 years ago to like 3 years ago, like mentally, some of you may be thinking that you're just coming or going. Like you may have also felt a bit more emotionally, like even though you're a sign that's very controlled, like you felt there may have been more of an outpouring of your emotions, or for some of you maybe like you felt like you couldn't like talk about how you felt because it felt a bit restricted. And I think that if you are one of those Capricorns that did speak about how you're feeling when it comes to like your career or your love life or your relationship or family, anything like that, it's a step in the right direction. If you've repressed it, Saturn going back there is showing you like, come on, now's that time to just do it. Say what you're thinking, say what you're feeling, because you're going to feel like the load is lifted off. Third house is also about contracts. It's also about writing as well. Short distance, short courses as well. So if you've decided that, you know, maybe I might do it, Saturn going back there is like, yeah, just do it. Come on, just do it. It's something you really want to do. Something you may have felt like in two minds about it, but, you know, just do it. With the lunar eclipse there as well, it's showing me there's going to be like a release of like, this is how I feel. You know, remember this is Neptune as well, so things may have felt quite foggy. You may have said certain things and you didn't want to say it, or you may, you know, or it may have like you said things that it didn't really make sense. Even like mentally, some of you may have felt like quite emotionally repressed or a bit depressed. But I think that now that Saturn's there with the lunar eclipse, things are going to start to make sense to a lot of you. And it's a breakthrough. It's a breakthrough more than anything, Capricorns. Again, I feel that if you are a person that can't really say what you think, it's really good to write. The card you got is a fifth house. And the fifth house is about creativity and it's about leisure. This card is saying about spontaneous enjoyment of life through creativity. So a lot of Capricorns are very creative, but some of you are really bound to that corporate thing. Now's the time to be as creative as you can. Saturn's going back into your fourth next year, and you know you're going to be dealing with that home and family life. So if you are one of those Capricorns that are like, I want to do this, I want to be creative, I want to, I don't know, go into journalism, I want to be a writer, I want to study, go for it. Go for it. Lunar eclipse being there is like saying, it's like giving that opportunity to get your stuff out there, to be like mentally what you want to do, what you want to be, what you want to say. So try not to be afraid, Capricorns, because you just never know how much and how far you've come. Hey Aquarius, how are you? So Aquarius, Saturn and the lunar eclipse is in your second house. Look back what happened 30 years ago. Look back what happened 3 years ago. Because, you know, money, money, money. How was it? Some of you may have felt restricted. Some of you may have felt quite broke. Some of you may have, you know, come into money and just invested it in non-profit things, helping like the needy, helping homelessness. It could have been a multitude of things. But some of you may have overspent and thinking, where the hell has my money gone? Saturn going back there is showing you where your money's gone. Saturn also showing you where you have to have responsibility for your finances. So if you're one of those Aquarius that money just keeps coming and going and you're not really focused or you're not really, you know, just organized, I feel that this is a time you will be organized. If there's money that's been taken from you, you will see it too. Second house is about, you know, self-esteem. So again, it's a bit tricky when Saturn and Pisces is in your second house, because it could really go either way for a lot of you. It could be either over generous or could just be quite stingy, or you just don't know where the money is. It's really, really tricky. But I feel that things will come into, you know, you'll be a bit more you'll be a little bit more clear about your finances. You'll be a bit more clear about, you know, how you're spending your money and how it makes you feel. Not because it's Neptune we're dealing with, it's like things are just like really like glazed over once again. And with the lunar eclipse there as well for you Aquarius, it's showing you where, you know, how you're like projecting yourself when it comes to money. And you know, if there's anything that's owed to you or paid to you or something you want to invest in, it can be done now. But yeah, the card that you have is the fourth house. So this is showing me that a lot of you may invest in the home life. You could be investing in your family, or you could be investing in a family. The fourth house represents your home and the place of safety and retreat. So you could be investing, like, if you're thinking of, oh, what do I invest in? What should I do now? This is the fourth house. This card is saying about invest. Home is where the heart is. And it could be you know, if you've got like friends that are family, that you consider family, you could be investing in them. You could be, I don't know, building a home in Africa or India, or you know, so that people can feel like it's home. If you're one of those rich Aquarians, this is the perfect time to be doing it. But all in all, Aquarius, is the second house is showing you invest in things that are mindful, that are emotional, and not just for like the mental. Okay. And last but by no means least, this is Pisces. This is in your first house. This will affect Pisces who are 29 degrees. If you are at last degrees Pisces, what, 27, 28, 29, the Pluto degree, this will definitely impact you. The lunar eclipse in your sign, if you are 15 degrees Pisces, this will definitely impact you. This is a big time Pisces, massive time. This week is very life-changing, okay? And you know, again, look back what happened 30 years ago. Look back what happened 3 years ago. I will, a little story, I will say that I've, even for myself, but I also heard from some Pisces that the life changed from 3 years ago till now. Like, again, like you guys know, I've had a baby. Some Pisces I know did have children, had their first kid. Some Pisces got married. Some Pisces got divorced. Some Pisces physically changed their body. And some of it may have not been you just doing anything. It just happened. They could have, some Pisces did have health issues. Like with me, I feel that my feet are very, very sensitive. But because Pisces does rule the feet and the lymphatic system, a lot of Pisces did that holistic route. They really went and healed themselves, whether it's talking to therapists or you know, doing the holistic route, like doing lymphatic drainage or all of that. And I think that if some of you Pisceans did try to do that and it just sort of veered off, this is giving you that time again to restart it. I think that a lot because it's the first house. The first house is about your career, your physical body, you know, your physical self. It's to do with friendships. It's to do with like things that you want. Some things, especially with that things that you want to achieve. Saturn going back into your sign is giving you that emphasis to do that. You know, with Saturn going back into your sign, because a lot of the energy is also Pisces. If I look at my chart, is that a lot of energies are in like the physical, it's about the health during this time. So again, try and take care of yourself as much as you can. If you started on and off the meditation, continue to do it, because meditation does heal mental, physical and emotional. Again, if you try to work out, you try to lose weight, it didn't work, it can work now, especially with the lunar eclipse there. If you try to be creative, it didn't really work, it can work now. If you one of those Pisces that sorry, that's my child. If you're one of those Pisces that really, if you know, if you really tried and it didn't work, it can work now, you know. So you know, I wholeheartedly believe that it will happen now. And because I think because it's at 29 degrees, which is like the intense degree, should we say, it's like not only can anything happen, it's also showing me that, you know, it's like this last chance, like a last chance Harvey thing going on. If you're, it's also showing me that if you're really willing to put the work in, you will see results, you know. And I'm not sure if it's because of Uranus being in Taurus, or because Uranus being in Taurus has brought up a lot of like menopause hormones, you know, going on. And obviously everyone, as we get older, physically we are changing because Saturn does rule aging. So some of you may have felt the effects of aging. Not may, a lot of you felt the effects of aging because Saturn's in your sign. The restrictions, things to do with like the bones, the skeleton, the musculoskeletal structure. I feel a lot of you now, if you fought, because you know Pisces, you know, we're coasters, we can coast, we can just, oh, maybe I'll do it, or we just forget about it. I think if you fought of like really studying anything, or even going there to like do anything to like the physical body or like the mental body, or if you know, if you felt like unbalanced in any way, like mentally unbalanced, physically unbalanced, this is the time to really try and heal yourself, because we're not going to see Saturn going into your sign for the next 30 years. So it's just, especially between this and the lunar eclipse in your sign, it's saying to me that, again, like I said, it's like the last chance, but make it work, make it happen. Again, like I said, if any of you started to do something creative and it didn't really pan out that way because, you know, life gets into the way, go for it. You know, really go for it, because when Saturn goes into your second, obviously there can be restrictions with your money. You can still make money because of something you've done in the first house. You know, the Saturn also in the second is about what we're eating, restricting what we're eating. But if you start like looking at about what you're eating now or how it makes you feel, because remember, whatever we're eating, it does impact how we feel. It's going to be beneficial when it goes into the second. You know, so I do feel with this Saturn, I think because it's at the last degree as well, it's like, you know, it's like it's like you need to hurry up and do it, type of thing, you know. And when we have the Saturn Neptune conjunction in Aries, it will affect you as well, because it's the 0 degree, your 29 degrees, all the 29 degrees mutables will feel this. So it's a very big time, Pisces. The card you got is a third house, which is about the mind, about communication. It's about your ideas and your style of communicating them. So one thing I will say, and I even have to do this for myself, is that whatever you're feeling, whatever you're willing to think about, put out there, write about, it can happen. Okay, and it's not easy to say that, because I think generally we all know that certain things can happen, but insecurity gets in the way. But right now, because of the 29 degrees Pluto degree, it's like intense time. It feels very intense. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a lot more Pisceans out there being like, I don't know, bosses, or, you know, really showing their stuff because they believed, you know. And I know that 3 years ago wasn't easy, because when Saturn went into Pisces, Pluto was in Capricorn, and even though it sextiled it still wasn't easy. Now it's in Aquarius, the energy is very, very different. It's in the 12th house, but still the energy of Aquarius is making it different. You know, it's, in fact, for me, it's making it feel more believable. Like, yeah, this can happen now, you know. So yeah, be ready for that transformation, especially the third house card you got is about the mind, the mental mind, the writing. I feel that some of you are definitely gonna be changing like your job, career. You know, some of you may be writing more, putting your artwork out there, doing more poetry. I can see a lot of you putting like stories out there on social media, and, you know, saying how your feelings and thoughts, body changing, mental, everything changing, because you put the work in now. You may have not been able to put the work in then, but now if you have another chance. Okay, so guys, that was the Saturn and lunar eclipse in Pisces video for all the signs. Thank you guys for being so patient and staying with me on my page. I will be putting up some more videos. I just got to get a little bit more organized, especially we're in Virgo season. But I really need to put this out there because I think it's such an important video for the collective because of the Saturn and lunar eclipse in Pisces. Please, again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I look forward to your comments as well to see how this pans out. But yeah, once again, guys, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.